All right, we have this mirror that we were sent that I am getting set up to mount. So I'll show actually mounting it, but I'm also going to show what I've already kind of done in measuring things to get it mounted up there. So it does come with these, basic instructions, but you do have to use a little bit of ingenuity of how you want it mounted on your wall, because it does come with. So I'm showing it horizontal, but we're going to mount it vertically using this longer bracket. So it has these two smaller brackets if you want to mount it horizontally, and then it's got these that you mount to the wall. So this long bracket here is basically 8 inches long. These are a little over 2 inches, but what I've done is measured the center line on the wall, and then measured about 1.5 inches in, and then 6.5 inches in for the holes I'm going to drill for these mounting brackets. See here, I've just marked my center line, and then these are the two holes. I use a level to make sure that these two holes are level, and that's center with our vanity sink here. All right, so as far as what comes with it for anchoring it into the wall, it does come with these drywall anchors, ones that you just screw into the wall, and then these other ones that as you screw in the screw, it anchors it to the wall. So depending on your preference, it does come with some other ones that it says are for cement anchoring, and then the two screws here. So I'm gonna use these ones because it's just for ease of use. They're basically self-tapping into the drywall. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a small hole just to get it started for the drywall anchor. You want to make sure that with these ones that you're using a screwdriver to put it into the wall. Do not use a drill, because it could ruin it, or it could put the drywall anchor too far into the wall. It's just best to use a screwdriver and do it by hand. Okay, so those two are up. Grab the brackets, the mounting brackets. I want to make sure that when it's oriented, that this part that dips out, that scoops out, is pointed upwards, not this flat part. Now this looks like this can, there's no way to rotate this, so I'm going to want to make sure that once I get this up on the wall, I'm actually going to do this last part by hand. I want to make sure that my bracket is level, or else your mirror is not going to be level once you get it up there. Okay, so that one's level. I mean, the installation's pretty self-explanatory, like with most things, but there's a couple things you want to make sure you're doing, like this, and using a level rather than just trying to eyeball it, so that your mirror goes up level, and make sure your measurements are good so that you're putting it up center with whatever you're mounting it above. Bring the mirror up. Just getting it to... Okay, so I did say it was center, but it was slightly off. But the nice thing about, that wasn't because I did my measurements wrong, but I'd forgotten that because of the way you put it up on the cleat or the bracket on the back, it may not be center on how you put it up, but you can slide it around. So the brackets I screwed to the wall were center, but you can slide this back and forth, which is nice for this. So I kind of just eyeballing it based off of these lines that I measured, and then just shifted it around, and now it's mostly center. So like I said, it's pretty straightforward, but just make sure that you're doing your measurements and leveling right so that it looks good once you get it put up. But so far, this is really simple. You could already see what was behind here. Like most mirrors, they put the glue up. So if we ever did want to replace this, it's easy to get off. The mirror that we had before, was glued to the wall, and pulling it off, it shattered, it broke. It was a pain. So this is nice for if you're ever wanting to switch out your mirrors, that it's easy to replace and take off the wall since it's not glued on there. So far I'd recommend this for sure.